Hi, everyone. Welcome to Immigration Time. One major thing that I've had calls about and people contact me about that I really need to go over, and I think every show I need to go over this because oftentimes, several times within a week, I get called about the similar thing, the similar issue that people are having. And it's regard to individuals coming to the United States and they don't have work authorization and they come here, and when they get to the border customs, they'll say to them, are you here to work? They'll say they're not, but there's correspondence within their email or text messages that give indication that they're coming here to work. So I just want to clarify, when you come to the United States, based on the visa you have to comply with that visa, or you will lose the right to come to the United States. So if you're coming here on a visitor's visa, a B1, B2 visa, you do not have authorization to work until you apply for work authorization. So when you come here on a visitor's visa, or you're coming here to visit. So oftentimes people say they're coming here to stay with a friend, they're going to help with a friend, they're going to pay them money. You can't do that. That's a no-no. So yeah, so if you're coming here, you have to be careful. If you're coming to visit and say, all right, I'm going to babysit my friend's child, they're going to pay me. You have to be mindful of what you have in your correspondence, and just be careful that if they do ask you a question, if you're coming here to work, they're looking for evidence of something, so you have to be mindful of that. If you intend to come here to get married, you have to come to the United States with the required documentation. So if you're coming here to get married, you have to come in with what's considered a fiancé visa. Let's say visa. If you come at the border and they say to you, why are you coming? And you said, oh, I'm going to get married. It's a no. They're going to take away your visa if you're coming on a visitor's visa, and they're going to prevent you from coming back to the United States. Right? If they tell you that, all right, come back with required visa, it might be a bar for you ever getting an adjustment here or coming to the United States to live, because you have already violated the terms of one visa. So you have to be mindful of these. So if you, okay, say for instance, you're with your fiance or spouse, but at the time you're coming to visit, you are just intending to visit and return back home. You had no intention of getting married. They look at your intent at the time you were traveling. If after you get here, you say, all right, I'm going to get married, I changed my mind, I don't want to leave my spouse, that is fine. They look at your intent at the time you travel. So you have to, as I said, when you're coming, make sure you have the visa, so you don't want to have issues when you come here. You might say, I know somebody that did it, they didn't have an issue, but remember, the Jamaican saying, puss and dog don't have the same luck. So one person might get through and not have an issue, but you might have a come here with the required document. I know like a lot of people might say, well, why not take the risk and do it? But as an attorney, I'm telling you issues that people have. And you have to just be mindful and be careful. Yeah, and also another thing that a lot of people have experienced that have been asked is for individuals who have petitions pending. Like you already got married in your home country, you have a petition pending, but taking a while, and you do want to travel here while it's pending. You can also petition for what's kind of like a fiancé visa to come in here to do the adjustments. If it's taking a while and you want to come sooner, you could do that. And if you already have a petition pending, like a I-130, but you've traveled here and then you decide to adjust, you're able to do that, make adjustments. It's a process that goes through. So these are things that I've seen where people are end up deported or in having issues when they're coming in or impact them later on, because you have to understand that it's a major issue, because misrepresentation is a major thing in regards to immigration. Yes, you could get what's called a waiver, but you have to understand that it might take a while to get these waivers approved, and it's not necessarily that you will qualify for the waiver. So it's better to just do the right thing in regards to migrating or traveling here. And also when you come to the United States, just be aware, or with any other country that you go to visit, make sure you're aware of the laws within that land so you do not violate those. Because you might think I committed a crime in England, it will not impact me if I'm trying to come to the United States. Yes, they do look at crimes you have committed anywhere in the world. So be mindful of that. Tend to come to the United States. So that's one of the major things. And I brought it up because I get like 3 or 4 calls about individuals who are coming to the United States. They say they coming here to work and they got deported. So you have to be mindful of that. And also look into conditions, to the condition under why you're coming. Because you have issues where people can claim asylum when they come to the United States because of fear that they have, whether it's because of your sexual orientation or because of your political affiliation. There are several reasons you could ask the United States and say, I fear going home because I think harm will come to me. As long as you have support your claim, they will allow you to go through the whole court process, immigration court process, to prove what you state you're experiencing. Just be mindful that you can't just say something like us. You can't just say, oh, I fear going home because and I have a same-sex relationship and I fear. You have to have proof of that relationship or things that have happened to you in the past or things that might happen in the future or conditions that exist within your that might, prevent you from going home. So these are things you have to look into. You're intending to travel. And another important thing that I have to raise that I know in Jamaica, common law relationships are important, but in the US, in some states, common law is not viewed as a marriage with certain rights. So you have to be mindful when you do go through the process, because oftentimes people get confused because if they ask if you're married, a lot of people will say, oh yes, I'm married, I have my wife, it's a common law. But you have to be mindful that when you do say you're married, immigration, you're saying you're married, but you can't after come and say, I'm getting married to somebody else and then adjusting, but I was never married before, but you've stated it on prior documentation such as visa, whether it's a work visa that I have a common law wife. So you have to be mindful of the things you say, because although it's legitimate in Jamaica and valid there in the United States, common law, but what the United States will do, they will look at what you stated, and then you'll have to provide proof that you weren't actually married or actually another relationship prior to your marriage. Because the thing is that, as you know, you cannot be married to partners because it's legal here in the United States. So that's something you'd have to overcome. So be mindful of what you eat on visa applications, and then because those things will come forward and impact you if you're trying to adjust or try to get your status to another avenue. So just be mindful of things you say when you're doing your application. And if you're just tuning in, it's Michelle Fanger and this is Immigration Time. I try to provide answers to anybody in regards to immigration questions they might have. So you could tune in, you could send me messages. You could tune into the show. I haven't seen, but Carrie Ann, hello, thanks for tuning in. You're the only one that has stated some, and I appreciate it. And just tell your family and friends that I'm on every Wednesday at 3 p.m. and I'm excited. In regards to immigration laws, nothing major has happened. Nothing, no major changes that happened. I know they had stated that they would increase additional fees. That hasn't happened as yet. Some of the forms have to be aware of that and be mindful of that when you are submitting forms. If you are here without status and you're not sure if you have any, I definitely recommend that you consult an attorney who will be able to flush out and figure out if you have any type of relief or entitled to any relief. I know the show is short, 15 minutes, but I look forward to be with you again next week, Wednesday at 3 p.m. I might have another time, I'm not sure, but tune in and tell your family and friends to tune into Immigration Time for 15 minutes. I will answer all your immigration questions. If you want to contact me, you can contact me at 904-930-0039, or you can send me an email at admin@fangerlawfirm.com. And it was a pleasure being with you today. I am going to sort of the technical thing, but I'm live. And again, I say thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to being with you guys again next week at 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful day.